Both films are fairly historically accurate for their attitudes regarding slavery and battles. Both start off on the battlefield. We find our main characters, played by Matthew Broderick in Glory and Matthew McConaughey in The Free State of Jones, fighting to stay alive in a bloody battle as they get dragged, or their comrades get dragged, from the field by a medic. There they see and are disgusted and disturbed by all the grave injuries and amputations that amassed from the battle. Both The Free State of Jones and Glory revolve around the main actions of their main characters and develop the character through the hardships and achievements that they experience. For example, the commander of the 54th Massachusetts Regiment, which is played by Matthew Broderick in Glory, is the first African American military regiment to fight in the war, whereas Matthew McConaughey's character in The Free State of Jones runs and operates a militia to fight against the Confederacy to protect farmlands. The key difference in character development between the two movies is that Glory develops the regiment's characters, whereas The Free State of Jones develops Newton Knight's love interest to a great degree. Both films express the ideas of freedom, liberty, and brotherhood as the 54th Massachusetts fights together and fights on war against racism, whereas the rebel militia that Matthew McConaughey runs as Newton Knight fights against racist Confederate soldiers that try to take farmland and other property. Most of the time in Glory, the scenery is depicted as dark and ominous, whether they're in the army training camp or out on the battlefield. Whereas The Free State of Jones features a contrast. It features bright, lush scenery and swamps and bogs. This really makes the background stand out and really helps immerse the audience into the environment. Another key difference in the plots of the two films is that in Glory, the regiment fights for honor and the respect of the other battalions in the war, whereas Matthew McConaughey, who plays Newton Knight, his regiment and militia hides mainly in the swamps and is undercover most of the time. Another key difference in the films is that in Glory, the time period spans from around the beginning of the Civil War to around the end of the Civil War, whereas in The Free State of Jones, it's the time before the Civil War all the way afterwards to military reconstruction, and the time afterwards, which shows you the development of civil rights for African Americans and their ability to vote. This really helps The Free State of Jones develop its theme of civil rights and civil liberties, as it shows the African Americans' ability to gain universal suffrage at the time. Both films exquisitely captivate their audience with its scenery, historical accuracy, battles, and themes of brotherhood and civil liberties.